Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafik Ulazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk. Yeah, the WNBA and Eastern Conference Finals is heating up. I said, welcome to this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk. Our Rafik Ulazon, and look who's back on the show, the Fletcher twins. Welcome back, ladies.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. First off, let's just catch up on everything that's been going on with you. I mean, I know, Lynnel, you're back to Florida after a 4-year stay in New York that you weren't really too satisfied with. Why don't you tell me about, and I understand you're writing a book talking about your 4-year experience.
Yes.
Reflect on the opportunity to write a book about your 4-year time in New York City and moving out of there, getting back to your hometown and everything. What led to that decision?
Thank you. Yes, and thanks for having us back on. I'm excited. But yes, thanks for mentioning the book. I actually released it already. It's called New York, Not So Big Apple. And so yes, it's about my 4.5-year experience of living in New York, coming from Florida to a big city like New York City, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bad, the ugly. And I didn't like it. Towards my last year there, I was so ready to come back home to Florida. It's just a completely different lifestyle change and adjustment. It just wasn't for me anymore. I did have my great times and I met some amazing people that I'm still friends with today. I'm actually coming back to New York in August for a wedding. I just think it's more of a place to visit and not to live, especially coming from Florida. Florida is like paradise pretty much. And so it was something. It was an experience. So I'm happy I did it. I have no regrets. But yeah, I knew once I moved there that I wouldn't retire there. I knew I wasn't going to be there for long. But yeah, my book is available on Amazon in paperback and ebook version on the Kindle. So yeah, it's been good, and we still going strong with our podcast. We're actually going to do a spinoff of it as well. But yeah, everything is good. I'm back in Florida. I'm in Deerfield Beach, which is in Broward County, which is the county right above Miami-Dade County, and I'm the happiest I've been in a while. So I made a great decision to come back.
Yeah. Lynnee, do you have any thoughts on everything she said when it comes to writing her new book, reflect on the 4-year journey and the opportunity to come back to living with you, and while still be able to do the podcast virtually?
Yeah.
Time together, spend time with family and everything.
Yeah, so all of us, first of all, are happy to have her back, especially me, I think, because now I have my movie partner back. Like, we go see movies all the time, so now I don't have to force my husband to see movies he really don't want to see. I could just go with her. Also, she's like a built-in sitter too for our kids, so we can just drop them off at her house and go. But about New York, yeah, I agree with her. I think I visited her twice in New York and I hated it each time. And I was just visiting. I was happy to just be visiting because I can't do it. It is not all the glitz and glamour that you see on TV at all. So I'm just happy she's back and back like she never left.
Yeah. Well, I know it's coming from a guy that currently lives in Brooklyn, New York, but let's just say New York is not for everybody, especially with all the rents and houses you have to pay when you're living down in the New York area, all the big cities, the tough neighborhoods that you're gonna have to walk by to get to the big attractions.
Yeah.
Attractions, getting on the subway, you have rats running around. I mean, you looking at these rats running around, they're like, what you looking at?
Yeah. That's their city as well.
There's a black cat, to be fair, there's a black cat running around every city in New York, every area in New York that you get to, from Manhattan to the Ball, Brooklyn to Queens, and Staten Island. I don't know what you got to see when you went there right now, but let me tell you, what like everywhere you go, there's rats running around. There's a black cat running around. Yeah.
I was in Manhattan. I was on the Upper West Side and the Upper East Side, so I saw a few rats, but not a lot. Like in the Bronx, in the Bronx, rats live with you, and they looking at you like you shouldn't be there. But in Manhattan, I may saw maybe 3, 4, 5, and it's mostly in the train on the subway tracks or whatever. So no, a rat was never in my apartment or in the apartment building or anything like that. So I was happy about that. So yeah.
Yeah, but look at the positive sides. I mean, I know you're probably going to allude to it when you finally like really. I mean, your book is out right now. You probably mentioned that like you got to go to. I mean, you probably got to go to. There's a lot of partying scenes. You got to go. You even got to go to like one of your last visits there. You got to go to New York Summer Club that's happening all the way up in Queens, where it's a vibe, and yeah.
Yeah, I do have a chapter in the book called "We Outside," and it talks about everything that I experienced, like the Broadway shows I went to, the parties in Central Park, going to the opera. I went to the opera for the first time. We went to Madison Square Gardens where we saw Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. So it is a lot of things to do. It truly is the city that never sleeps. But I want to sleep sometimes. I want to sleep. So yeah.
Yeah, we all get to. Yeah, we all need our sleep sometime. And you know what? Now, how do you think I feel fantasizing about the opportunity to go down to Miami, Florida, which is close to the Caribbean, and we Caribbean Islander human beings? It's just. I mean, Miami, just Florida in general is the place to be. We were escaping from the big cities that we have a tough time living through.
Right. And it wasn't the only thing that I did not get used to, and I think I mentioned this in the book, was the lack of space. The city is so dense. You're always walking on top of each other. The apartments are really, really small. It was just so congested, and it made me dirty. It made me not want to be there. I remember one time I was walking to work on what the location of that one was, right across the street from Penn Station. So I was working at a bank right across the street from Penn Station. And since at that time I lived in Midtown East, so it literally was a 10-minute walk, nothing too crazy. And I was walking one day and we had to walk over homeless people. It was construction blocking 2 lanes, so the traffic was backed up. It was hot. It smelled. And I literally thought to myself, because I would never forget this day, I thought to myself, what am I doing here? I can't wait till I go home. What am I doing here? Like, it wasn't worth it to me. That last year, I was over it. So you have to be pretty tough, thick-skinned, and not care about your lifestyle. Or care about it because a lot of native New Yorkers think that it's the best place in the world.
Because they never been nowhere.
Correct. I used to have to tell my coworkers, y'all know y'all don't have to live like this, right? Like, I used to tell people that. But this one coworker I had, her mom eventually moved down here to South Florida, to Miami. And she says every time she comes to visit her mom tried to convince her to move here. And she was like, no, she can't leave New York. So a lot of people really love New York. So it is what it is. It's to each his own.
Yep, to each his own. I mean, yeah. Either way, I'm glad you made a decision that's right for you, and you finally get talking about your experience. And I'm sure that the people watching this episode of the But That Sports Talk, when Sports Be Entertainment Edition, will actually look forward to getting to know you from your 4 years living in New York City before going back to Florida, where you literally belong.
Literally.
All right. So yeah. Now let's transition to all the entertainment topics that went down this past month from the last episode I did, and that's the Harrison Butker commencement speech. And
oh my God.
Lynnee, I gotta ask you, for somebody who's a Hawaiian fan, has children, I mean, what like when you listen to the Harrison speech, what you got you thinking about? I don't know what you said.
Wait,
Probably ain't hear it. She ain't listen. I'm gonna give you a synopsis of what he said,
okay.
But a disclosure also. I believe he's Catholic, and that was a Catholic college graduation. So some of his beliefs come from how he grew up. He basically said women don't need to work; they need to stay at home and take care of the house. That's what he said. And he's the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, right? And I know today Travis Kelce came out with a statement saying he loved him to death, but he don't agree with what he said. But he basically said, "What your greatest? Yeah, you graduate in college, but your greatest achievement should be your family and being with your family and stuff like that."
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny because I watched something where a guy would say I guess he's a podcaster, but his show is called The Fallen State or something like that, and he believes that God made the woman literally to cook and clean and just be home with the family too. But
you could do SEO.
a lot of people think that, and not a lot of men would want their wives at home and not working. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like an ego thing or they don't want like other guys looking at their wives or things like that, or maybe they just traditional. Some people have old souls. And or maybe some people just think that that's their role and this is my role. It's crazy to me because I can't. When I was on maternity leave for 3 months with my kids, I was ready to go back to work. I can't sit at home and just be a homemaker. I give props to the people that do, the housewives and the homemakers, because that's a tough job. That's probably the hardest job in the world. You throughout the day you have no interaction with adults, and all you doing is cooking and cleaning over and over again. Literally the same thing. And I don't like cleaning or cooking that much. So I couldn't do it, but props to the people who do it. But yeah, there's a lot of modern day men that think like that. They do.
But you gotta have money, because
I'm
also
not surprised.
you can't think like that, and the man as a man don't have a good job or can't take care of your family. Like most homes need two incomes. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, so yes, he has more than the average man. But the men I be running across when I was dating back in the day, they don't want to feel like they've been taken advantage of, so they want their partners to have jobs. So it's like it's polar opposite. Nobody's ever in the middle. It's either they want you as a homemaker or they want you to make money. Like it can't be in between. But since that is his belief system, and I guess that was a Catholic college, I guess that's how he believes. I'm not going to tell him not to believe that, but don't be trying to influence people to think how you think. Let people make up their own mind. Let them live through life's ups and downs and see what they want to do. Some people in that college is going to go on and just be housewives, and some people going to go on and be rocket scientists. Like,
you don't have to say just be housewives because that's a hard job.
Yeah, but let's get. But before we continue the conversation, let's just listen to this clip.
Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men.
This speech, which included shots at the LGBTQ community and urged women to become homemakers, has been widely condemned. But tonight, that backlash drumming up sales. Before this week, many casual NFL fans may not have been able to pick Butker out of a lineup, but now take a look at this. His jersey is one of the top sellers on the NFL.
Wow.
The #1 most popular amongst the Chiefs women.
Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
The family of Chiefs owner Clark.
Yeah,
I don't think he said it in like a derogatory way.
no.
Like these dudes out here on these streets be saying it. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. If some people just like the lady on Bronwyn, when she met her husband in college, she literally told him, I don't want to work and I want 7 kids. And that's what happened. So some people, you just got to find that person that wants to be at home. It ain't me.
That's funny. I'm happy about the jersey sales because it every time somebody I want to say hate on somebody or bring some controversy to somebody, something good happens out of it. He probably the highest selling kicker jersey in the world. Because people don't buy kicker jersey. But yeah, I like how people do come behind, like if they agree with what you agree with, or if they just like you. I like how they band behind you and support you. So that was cool. That part was cool. But yeah, he didn't say it in a derogatory way. I just don't try to influence me to do something that you want me to do. Let me make my decision.
Yeah, bottom line, Harrison had his opinion about women after they graduate college, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And yeah, on to the next topic. I don't know if you've been following everything going on with a certain bad boy artist named P. Diddy, but obviously you see the video that happened when he did what he did to Cassie. I'm not gonna get the details of what he did, but let's just say it was brutal. P. Diddy, what were you thinking? Any thoughts on it?
It was so disgusting and disturbing to watch. Like, I could literally only watch it one time, but then I saw the second part of the video on CNN because I was so disgusted I cut it off. And then when I went and saw on CNN, it was the second part where he went in the hallway and threw an object or whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't see that part. So then I went back to the video and I saw it. So I saw a total of 1.5 times. And I was so disturbed. And it's just unbelievable. Like, for instance, that's like a bully. Like, I hate like bullies in school, how they pick on people smaller than them, or they know can't defend themselves against them. That's what it felt like to me. Like, he knew she wasn't gonna fight back. He knew he had power over her, both probably mentally and physically and emotionally, and he got the money. It's like, it was so disturbing, and I'm not a fan anymore. And I'm mad I spent my money years ago to go to that Bad Boy reunion concert, which was a great concert.
I mean, you went there, put together good music, but it's like every single hip hop artist that we listen to in this industry, they always seem to have a shady backstory.
Yeah, I watched it several times. It was it was crazy. But I don't put anything past nobody, especially even like all of this rumors had been building up about him. Like even the other allegations we heard back in college, we heard allegations about things that's coming out now, and so it's been a build up, and now this, it's just craziness. I think some people, once they get a certain authority or power and money, they just think anything goes. It's crazy, and it makes you think back to when the thing with Chris Brown and Rihanna happened. Literally that next day, he was with Chris Brown and Rihanna because at first they didn't break up, and he was with them. He took them out like on a boat or jet skis or something. Like that was a normal thing, and we just gonna keep it moving. So it makes you think that was normal for him because he probably did it all the time. And then his apology video, he never even mentioned once Cassie's name. Like he never said he was sorry.
Legally, because they explained it on the Breakfast Club, legally he can't, because in their settlement, neither one of them can say either one of their names anymore. So he couldn't say her name, but he could have said, I'm sorry to the person in the video or whatever, but he can't say her name.
Well, that's good. And yeah, it's just crazy. And I saw a video of somebody who had came out and initially didn't believe Cassie, and they apologized, and they should. I would never say I don't believe somebody, um, unless it's just like evidence of it just being like totally untrue, like with that baseball player Nell that we were talking about before. But yeah, I don't know. It's just we have been hearing it from back in the day, so it wasn't really a surprise. I mean,
it was a surprise to me, and I don't know why, but because I need to start not putting anything past anybody like you. It was a surprise to me, but it seemed like he thought he was like this god and untouchable. Like he probably never in his wildest dreams thought that all this would come down on him. But Cat Williams said this is the year of the truth. So some people need to be scared right now. Everybody need to be scared. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that was just pretty graphic to watch. I mean, P. Diddy pretty much ruined his own music career by doing that. But as somebody that listened to hip hop and R&B for a very long time, you obviously know the big hits that P. Diddy produced in the 90s. Like, would this type of moment stop you from ever going to a P. Diddy concert or listen to the guy's music going forward?
I might listen to his music in the car, but I'm not ever going to a concert. He probably don't ever put on any concerts ever again. Like, who gonna book him?
This is
I
true.
would never I would never. But if like his music come on in the car, I'm not gonna switch the station if I like the song.
This is true. I agree. I concur.
Yeah, thank you for the music that you produced throughout the years, P. Diddy. But yeah, you should have never did that. Your career's over.
One would hope.
He should just stay. We shouldn't see him no more. He should
Ever.
just stay in the house. We don't want to see him no more.
Go to do like Russell Simmons did and go to another island. Russell not coming back to the U.S. because he know what is gonna happen. Russell Simmons not here.
But I think Puff Daddy, he's a narcissist, right? So he likes to be in the spotlight. Russell wasn't really in the spotlight, so he don't care about sinking back. I don't think P. Diddy could do it. I think he's still gonna be out here in these streets playing on Beyonce's internet.
Yeah, that's pretty much how P. Diddy rolls. But yeah, nobody wants to see him anymore. But you know what we do want to see? The WNBA as a week and a half in. Before we get to all the particular losses that happened, we do want to get to an announcement that happened this past week. Not only did the Golden State WNBA team announce that they're going to be called the Valkyries, but we also had a team announced up north in Canada.
Really?
Toronto.
Yes, Toronto, Canada will have a WNBA team. And when you talk in sports, I know that has to excite you about the fact that the WNBA is expanding to the Bay Area and Toronto, Canada.
They need to come to Florida. They need to get a team in Florida.
I would definitely go.
Yeah, but you know, extensions take time. It took time to get two cities to agree to have a WNBA team down there. And let's not forget the WNBA once had a team down in Miami called the Miami Soul. Yeah, they went out of business after 2 seasons, unfortunately. But I'm sure Kathleen Gilbert will work something out to get that city a WNBA team, if not by the targeted 2028 year, where she expects to get 16 WNBA teams, but somewhere in the near future. So hold tight.
I'm pretty sure because Miami is a huge market. I'm pretty sure things are in the works already. Things are in the works. Yeah.
So hold tight. I'm sure Miami will once have a team, but right now it's all about Toronto and Golden State. So, Lynnel, I gotta ask you a question. What are your thoughts about the WNBA going up north to Toronto, Canada in 2026?
I think it's really, really good because we have an NBA team in Toronto, so why not? One of the biggest rappers is from Toronto, and Drake. I think it's a really good idea. Anytime a league expands, that means it's doing well and it's gaining in popularity. So that's always a good thing, especially for women's basketball. And then also we might recruit some players from Canada. Like we might see Canadians play. So I think it's great overall for the league and for everybody involved. And it obviously is going to make more money because that's another stadium we can pack. That's more, hopefully, endorsements, more TV deals and stuff like that. So I think it's a great idea. It's exciting to witness. It's exciting to be alive at this particular point in time to witness things like this.
Mm-hmm. Lynnee, you got thoughts?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, great. I agree with everything she said. Canada's a big market for our NBA team, so that's great. And especially California is a huge market too. So I think they're gonna fill those arenas pretty easily. And I've actually been watching WNBA this year, which is like for the first time ever. Like I watch college, but I've never sat and watched the WNBA, but I have.
Where?
That's good.
I remember you guys telling me you weren't into WNBA down until last year, but
Yeah.
at least you're getting into it now, especially with the new teams, new cities having WNBA teams in the near future. So it's good that you're finally locked into it right now, especially when you're going to have rookies like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark coming to the fore. And Caitlin Clark has yet to get a win, but she's shown flashes of how good she can be.
Mm-hmm.
That's I was going to say that what I reiterated about the kicker in the commencement speech. The good that's come out of that whole controversy with Caitlin and Angel last year is what we're witnessing now. Like, it's bringing more eyes to the game, and everybody is excited about it. It's expanding. So something good always comes out of haters or controversy. Something is always a silver lining. So if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't know who Caitlin Clark is. I wouldn't know who Angel Reese is. I wouldn't know about no Chicago Sky. So that happened to get all of this. So that's why, and I always tell people, or maybe I should always tell people, always find the silver lining. Like, it's always going to be a silver lining in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh, we watched, my family and I watched Caitlin's game. I forgot who they were playing.
Is it against Connecticut Sun? Or against my New York Liberty?
It might have been Connecticut. But we watched that game. Yeah, and it really did. Like, I was upset they lost. But yeah, and it was because I used to say I didn't watch WNBA because it didn't look, when I would pass by and Joe would be watching it, it didn't really look competitive to me. But I was wrong. It is very competitive, and they were really good. So I gotta take that back. Sorry, WNBA. But that game was really, really good. And it did come down to the wire.
Exactly, and you talking to a guy that's come to WNBA virtually for 4 years and was actually at the WNBA finals watching the Aces of the Liberty duke it out for a championship, but we'll talk about those teams later. The Clark effect is real. Maybe people to watch, even though the Fever are 0-5. Let's not forget, she's only a rookie. Aaliyah Boss is only in her second year, and the team is just starting to iron out the kinks. Caitlin Clark just come off back-to-back national championship appearances, even though she had never won a national championship. The influence that she put into the Iowa Hawkeyes in recent years on the way towards being the #1 pick in the WNBA draft and building up the viewership for the draft this year, which took place at BAM Theater. That's how you know women's basketball is starting to get hot, and the viewership and the fan engagement is starting to grow, and people are willing to spend their money and fill up seats to watch Caitlin Clark. All it takes is one high-quality star to fill up the seats all across America.
I think the arena, every time when they were home, at least, I think have been sold out.
Of course. And also, which is good for the WNBA, they can hike up prices because people gonna want to see Caitlin. Whether it don't have to be a $20 ticket no more. Maybe them $20 tickets is going for $100 now. But they say, I want to see Caitlin. I want to see Caitlin. But yeah, but in all of this, Caitlin is bringing more eyes. She completely just made everybody more interested. But let's not forget, it was people before her, and I'm pretty sure it's people just as good as her in the WNBA also. So I just don't want them to be forgotten because of the whole Caitlin Clark effect. I just want to make that a point as well.
Yeah, it's because of the Caitlin Clark effect. Most people are watching women's basketball than men's basketball in the college level earlier this year.
And that's so funny because I was listening to the Breakfast Club the other day, and they said something about the NBA draft, and Charlamagne, the guy, was like, I ain't know nobody in the NBA draft. I ain't even watching. He was like, I'm more focused on WNBA. He was like, this is the first time I don't know anybody in the NBA draft. And I was like, wow. So yeah, people is watching.
Yeah, even though, Caitlin Clark has yet to get a win, I'm sure she's going to rise to stardom, along with Angel Reese, who, unfortunately, early this week got a win against the New York Liberty in shocking fashion. The Chicago Sky started the season off 2-1 after getting wins against them and the Dallas Wings. Well, New York Liberty had their undefeated streak starting off 4-0 before losing that game. But let me ask you something. When you watch Angel, if you guys had a chance to watch Angel Reese play, I mean, what are your overall impressions about how she's getting adjusted to play in the league, especially when being coached by a WNBA legend in Teresa Witherspoon?
Well, I haven't watched the game yet, but I have seen clips of Angel Reese. I just like the confidence. I really like the confidence she has. She's not, she a rookie, but she's still good. She know how to play. She know how to drive the ball. She not backing down just because she a rookie. So I really like the confidence that she possessed on the court.
Yeah, I agree. I seen a clip of her, I think in that win that they got where like she did an and one play that, and I think that actually helped them to get the win. And yeah, they when they be scoring, they be like let's go. Like, yeah, like they not scared. They stepping up to the plate. They going to live up to the hype. Cause the worst thing in the world is get drafted and then you don't live up to your hype, or you're not as good as you was in college.
And that has happened to
Like
people
that.
before.
Mhm.
That has happened to people before.
Yeah, that's happened to people before. And well, obviously it's too early to determine who's going to be the WNBA Rookie of the Year, but I think it's going to go down between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. That I know for sure, because those are two top talents. They've all had experiences having deep runs in the NCAA tournament, and that carried them into college. Even though Angel Reese wasn't no top 2 pick, she does have the potential to be a phenomenal player in this league.
Of course.
There's a strong play on the court and the fan support and celebrity support that you're getting out of it. Let's not forget Angel Reese, before the season started, she came all the way from Chicago to New York for the Met Gala and went back to practice. So,
yeah, she look good too. I mean, her Met Gala dress wasn't as fabulous. I've seen her wear more fabulous things in like just photo shoots and stuff like that. But hopefully next year her style will step up the game. But yeah, she flew like she having the time of her life right now, and I'm not mad. She having the time of her life.
Mhm.
that's the best you can think about. I mean, she's had time of life for the past 2 years ever since being national champion in 2023.
Yeah.
It's got many people invested into her. I mean,
Yeah.
only Angel Reese can announce to the vlog that she's coming to the WNBA, and then manage to rock the new jeans that are coming out. Like only Angel Reese can do that.
And then she announced it by doing like a Vogue cover shoot or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah. That was cute. That was cute.
Yeah, Angel Reese, all power to you. Now, let's get to the Liberty and Aces. I mean, well, obviously, they've already suffered their first loss of the season a weekend. And, well, the Aces, they suffered a loss against the Phoenix Mercury earlier this week. And obviously, that's a good wake-up call because Aces normally don't lose at home too often. But now that they actually have, they're going to be motivated to try to bounce back and get a win against the Indiana Fever this Saturday. While the Liberty, at the other hand, the next game is against the Minnesota Lynx on the road. They're going to bounce back and get a win after a very poor offensive showing where they only played one good quarter in the third. They did come back and take a lead, but obviously the Chicago Sky showing they're not playing around. When you have players like Dana Evans and Marina Mayberry knocking down shots and Angel Reese showing you what she can do on the court and a good coach system, which is, again, carried by Teresa Witherspoon, you know Chicago, they're not even playing like a team that's not going anywhere. They really want to start the season off strong. So, ladies, I want to get your thoughts on everything happening with the New York Liberty Aces this week.
The Aces won the championship last week, or last year, right?
Yeah, the Aces. Yeah,
that's what that is. I think the girl
missed that field goal on the baseline, and I should know because I was there for games 3 and 4 of that series.
I think the girl I think the lady you like is on the Aces team, the one that be dancing on the sideline, and you be sending me videos of her. I think she's on the Aces team. I haven't watched the Aces or anybody play or them play, but I always kind of sort of don't root for the person who won the previous year unless they're my team. I don't like back-to-back winners a lot. But it would be cool if they won back-to-back. It seemed like they're
They already did. Yeah, the Aces won in 2022 and 23.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, see, okay, they don't need to win this year. I don't like that. But it seemed like they run into adversity already this year. You said they lost, but that's fine. They sometimes you need to feel what a loss feel like to wake you up. So now they woke and they need to step up their game. Okay, if they want to be 3 times back-to-back championship.
The girl I seen you, she's not on the Aces, but Aja is on the Aces.
Uh,
But yeah, I think they'll bounce back because they're a tough team. And so I'm not really too worried about it. I think they're going to be in the mix during the playoffs. Will they make it back to the championship? I don't know, probably, but I think they're gonna be in the mix. But I'm not too worried about them. I don't, not yet. Now if they keep this losing streak, if they start losing, then I get worried. But right now I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, you don't need to worry about the Aces too much. They're gonna bounce back. I mean, both teams will bounce back. I mean, basketball's crazy. This is how it goes.
Yeah, it's a season for a reason. It's a season for a reason.
Yeah, it's a long grind. And obviously, now we get to some NBA playoff talk, and the conference finals is underway. The Boston Celtics are currently leading the Indiana Pacers 2-0, highlighted by the overtime winning game 1. And the Dallas Mavericks managed to pick up a victory in game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road. So
I'm mad.
That's how we got here. I mean, obviously the Indiana Pacers, they defeated the Milwaukee Bucks. No Damian Lillard, no Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they smoked my New York Knicks in Game 7 after the Knicks were having their own share of injuries, literally half a roster of G League players. I mean, obviously, it was going to be tough for the New York Knicks to win that series no matter what happened since they're playing with literally half a roster. They barely survived the 76ers. Let's be honest, that series should have ended in 5 games, but at the very least, they defeated them anyway in 6. And then that series with New York Knicks and Pacers, the Knicks off to a good start, leading 2-0, but obviously, once Nembhard hit that shot to win Game 3 after the Pacers were down 9 points against the New York Knicks, that literally changed the whole complexity of the series, and they managed to win 4 of the next 5 and eliminate the New York Knicks. And the Mavericks, they managed to pull off an upset win against another number 1 seed. Only this time, it's Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Minnesota Timberwolves finally avenged that loss against the Denver Nuggets last year by defeating them in a 7-game slugfest this year. So I ask you ladies, we were all impressed about this NBA playoffs, and what NBA finals match about the 4 main teams you want to see? Starting with you, Lynnel.
Yeah, so first of all, I was upset once my Lakers lost because we had no more LeBron, we had no more KD, and we didn't have Curry. So like the 3 most excited NBA players of this time were basically not in the playoffs. So I was upset. So I'm like, who am I going to go for now, right? I was putting my thinking cap on, and then I was like, oh, I like Dame Lillard. I'm going to go for the Bucks. An hour after I said that, the Bucks got kicked out of the playoffs, right? So I'm like, who am I going to go for now? And I found the person I'm going to go for now. But let's just get to the Knicks series. So, yeah, so I wasn't even paying attention to the Knicks and the Pacers until the Knicks won the first 2 games. I'm like, hey, maybe I need to start paying attention. Okay? But then Game 7, the boy got hurt. What's the guy named Bronson?
Jalen Brunson hurt his hand, and well, it's a blessing guys this get a little bit like that, because even if the Knicks were to get to the conference finals, that would have been another playoff series they would have had to go through without him, and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, so that happened, and then I literally was watching the game on my phone, and I was actually tired that day. I think I had just came from something with y'all, the lunch day, and I was sleeping. But then I was like, I'm gonna watch this game. It's a Game 7. You gotta watch Game 7. But when they got down 20 points in the 4th quarter, I went to sleep. So I said, I need to be up for this Timberwolves game, right? So the Timberwolves, they beat who they played? Nuggets. I hate the Nuggets. They won last year and knocked my people out last year, the Lakers. And also they knocked the Lakers out again this year. So I have no love for the Nuggets, okay? But shout out to Jokic and I'm Nicola and what's the guy name you like? The red guy?
Jamal Murray with 2 game winners off the Lakers. Yeah, that hurt.
Shout out to them. They're good players. I just don't like their team. Okay, so I was so happy that I was ecstatic that the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets, right? And then I don't know why, maybe I didn't pay attention, but I heard the name before, but I didn't hear the nickname. Anthony Edwards is Ant-Man.
Edwards, aka Ant-Man. He's already drawn comparisons to Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. But let's be honest, let's wait for him to win some titles first before we can get that conversation up and running.
And I agree, but I think he's the next exciting player to watch. Like he might be the next superstar in the league. So that's who I'm going for. I'm going for the Timberwolves to win it all. Yes, they lost against the Mavericks, and I do like Luka, but I need Ant-Man to win. On the East side, I don't like the Celtics because they're very disappointing. Like not every year, for like the past 2 years, I've been rooting for them, and then they disappointed me. And they like, if you do the same thing and expect different results, that's insanity. So I don't want to be insane. So I'm going for the Pacers on the East side. And also, I like Halliburton. Halliburton is much better than I thought, especially in his three-point game, okay? So I'm going for the Pacers and the Timberwolves in the NBA Finals, with the Timberwolves winning in 6.
Not a bad matchup. Not bad. What you taking, Lynnee?
I'm thinking Boston all the way. I want to see them win. I like their team, their players. So I'm going for Boston, and then on the other side, I'm going for Dallas because I like Luka. Timberwolves, I don't really pay attention to them, so I can't say nothing bad about them. But I like Luka, and I like Boston. So I'm going Boston. I'm rooting for Boston to win all the way. It's time to prove the naysayers wrong and get this win. And we off to a good start. 2-0 right now.
Yeah, that's the best you could do.
I mean, not we, but they're off to a good start because that's not my team.
Yeah, that's the best you could do. I mean, it's kind of like unpredictable. I mean, it's looking like Boston's could clearly run away with the NBA championship since they're the number 1 seed team. Because come on now, all you have left is the Indiana Pacers team. I mean, Halliburton's gonna have his injuries. If the Boston gets at least 1 victory, Indiana, this series is over. And then after that, you get either the Dallas Mavericks or the Minnesota Timberwolves. And let's be honest, since the Celtics have been to the finals before, they've seen it all, they've done it all. They're going up against 2 franchises who haven't been there in a while or never been there, period. Yet that's gonna change the whole dynamic of this NBA season. Boston has a chance to surpass the Lakers in most championships. So yeah.
They fold under pressure. And I've seen it the last 2 years. And hopefully they fold this year. That's what
I mean. This is going to be very interesting to see what happens. But
I'm excited. Tonight, Timberwolves play tonight, so I'll be watching that tonight.
And obviously, I did like a this year preview of sports earlier this season where I predict that the Celtics and T-Wolves will face off in the NBA Finals.
Nice.
With the Boston Celtics winning. And I'm going to stick with my prediction.
No.
But
no, we'll see. It's exciting. Playoff basketball is the best. It is literally the best. So it's exciting to witness.
Yeah. Now, on to a few more topics before I get on out of here. I mean, obviously, as you heard, Bronny James is going to declare for the NBA draft while still possibly thinking about going back to college. But let me ask you something. Would you want to see Bronny James and LeBron James team up in the same uniform next year?
I'll pay thousands of dollars for that ticket. Yes.
You done?
No. I pay because I don't like materialistic stuff. So I like to spend my money on experiences, whether it be vacations, comedy shows, concerts, whatever. That's an experience. Like, how many people gonna be able to say they saw LeBron James and his son play on the same team? Now, them tickets gonna be worth the bag. Okay, they gonna be worth the bag. But I think it's worth it. I would pay serious money to watch that from the nosebleeds if I have to.
No. That's funny. Well, first of all, I don't even think he's ready for the NBA, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, if he do, it's funny that everybody talk about the side of him playing with his dad, but I think it'll be better if he played against his dad. I think that would be more exciting to see if he were to get picked by a different team and had to play against his daddy. Because I'm pretty sure they play against each other all the time at home. That's the matchup I want to see.
I never even thought about that. That's very interesting. That would be cool too.
Yeah, all that stuff would be very cool. I mean, come on now. It's LeBron James. Even though, well, he has like 2 or 3 years left in him, but I'm sure he's going to try to at least get another championship before he finally hangs it up.
Yeah, hopefully he does with the Lakers. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, being a LeBron fan that you are, do you want to see him back with the Lakers next year?
Yes, I do. I want him to like retire with the Lakers. I do. I would say Cleveland because that's what he started with, but I prefer Lakers at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that wraps up this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk with Sports Meet Entertainment. Thank you for stopping by, Fletcher Twins. It's very nice to reconnect with you after over a year and to catch up. And make sure you buy Lynnel's new book, Not So Big Apple, although, yeah. I know it's coming from a New Yorker myself. I support anything that my special guest does. So
thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's New York, Not So Big Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah. And for the viewers that read the lady's book, you probably get a better idea of why you want to get out of New York too. If there's some things you don't like about it already, you'll agree to some stuff she says, but you'll disagree with what she doesn't say. But yeah. And also shout out to you ladies for getting Gigi Spear on the show, and you posted her photo, her interview with Common. Shout out to her as well.
She was so fun. Yeah, shout out to Gigi. I loved her interview. She was just a ball of energy. So thank you for recommending her because she was great. She was great.
Yeah. I like her.
Yeah. For the Fletcher Twins, Rafika was on. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.